Bon, comme les minutes filent, on va vite passer à un TaiDx, justement. J'ai appelé tout à l'heure Martin Deighton, donc c'est vraiment à lui maintenant.
Il va s'exprimer en anglais. La traduction est
Très bien. Donc pourquoi ça s'écrit Martin et on l'appelle Martin? C'est parce qu'il est anglais, il va s'exprimer en anglais et la traduction, on la verra, je l'espère, à l'écran. That's okay, let's go.
Okay, hi, I'm Martin. As a member of the Keep Ecojoules, in my past life, I was a brickmaker. In the In the 80s, I was using mines drainage methane to fire kilns. In the 90s, I was using landfill gas to heat dryers in the brickworks. In the year 2004, I had to become an energy trader in carbon emissions because the brickworks became a Part A process under the Environmental Protection Act of 2000. But today, I want to talk about the domestic biodigester. Why? Why? Because I have 3 dogs that poo in the garden. You can see there, oops, back. You've got Wilson there, oops, that's not working, showing me where the poo is because he's a pointer. And again, he's looking at the solution for everything. Okay, the reason for the fabrication was something we could all use. Something was lying around in the garden, literally, in the case of the 1,000-litre IBC, which had to be black. My neighbour gave me that because it was just lying in his garden. So we recuperated that to make the base of the reactor. The rest of the things, the feed tube, the sort of the gas, and the tube for the tyre were donated also by people within the team. It is really simple to make. It's just 3 tubes in an IBC. Here's a simple 3D cutaway diagram showing where the entrances and exits are. So the feed tube goes right to the bottom. You have a sortie in the middle for the liquid engrass and an exit at the top for the methane. And then you have a chamber of air just to collect the methane. Oh, okay. The importance is to get a gas-tight joint. Otherwise, it's just going to go in the air, so it's just a waste of time. So we used a joint Capella Uni-Seal. It's fabricated in the USA, and it gives you a gas-tight seal with a minimum of effort, as long as you drill the right size hole. And that's just showing where the sortie for the liquid fertilizer comes from. The top of the exit has to be lower than the input, otherwise it's going to go the wrong way around. You're going to get the liquid coming out of the entry, and it just makes a mess of things. It also has to have an anti-siphon device on it, otherwise you'll just empty everything out when it reaches the exit point. After the first initial fill, it took about a month to get a chamber of air full of gas. I think that was mainly due to the rate of reaction within the digester, because it was just being charged by dog poo. The next step was to actually use the gas. So we have a barbecue of summer there. We do have a summer in Brittany, honest. It's a simple gas ring that you just attach the gas tube to. The gas pressure is highly technical. As you can see, it's a pallet with a brick on. The thing that really surprised me, though, was how clear the gas was burning. It's actually a very, very clear flame from that. When you've burnt landfill gas, you get a slightly orangey flame with a rather pungent odour. There is no odour with this whatsoever. Okay. And, of course, I used the waste, the liquid fertilizer in the garden. The advantage of using this system, I've no longer got dog poo in the garden. You can also put other types of vegetation in there, but it has to be a small particle size, otherwise it blocks the system. Just simple as that. The liquid that comes out can be used as a fertilizer, and you have a gas for your summer barbecue. Just a very little bit of science, because it's not that exciting. Complex organic matters at the top. Anaerobic bacteria can you munch away, which leaves you with less complex organic matter. Methane and some of the carbon dioxide that's produced, it still remains within the liquid when it comes out. Other bioprojects. The first one is a street light in England. A chap called Brian Harper spent 3 years developing a street light running on dog poo. It's quite illuminating, really. And that's the Spark project in Brooklyn, where people exercise their dogs, and of course dogs do what they do. And to clean up the area, they put a digester at the rear to clean the park up, because it's a lot better than chucking it in the bin. And again, that was used for lighting the park in the evenings. There are 83 million domestic dogs in the state. Can produce 10.6 million tons of poo. In Nigeria, because you are curious, they found that 7 kilos of dog poo produced 200 litres of gas in 59 days. Finally, I thought, what can we do with this project in reality? I thought the kennels of the SPA, and what will other companies or collectors do with this recycling process? And who on the territory is actually going to use it? I don't know. And another little we thought, when I was reading another article, in India, we have people developing phosphates with a biogas connection and a pumped system to use within the house. Whether it be allowed in France, I don't know. As someone said, the answer is blowing in the wind, because methane does. Thanks. I'd just like to thank a couple of people. Philippe and Alan for donating parts, Kevin for being the coach, and Regine and Vincent for helping me do this little presentation.
Merci beaucoup.